This man had led sales in some of the top health industry and nutrition companies. He was president of Shockley International. He was the VP of sales of Melaleuca, and he served as the vice president of Franklin Covey. He is a father to 6 girls, 1 boy. And Beachbody, from what I understand, had to fight for him. When he was brought to our team, they knew what they wanted, they saw a vision in him. And it's that same vision as a new leader at the New Leader Conference that I saw in him. He wanted to bring unity, he wanted to make it family-centered, he wanted to make it more about us than himself. Something that stood out to me from the get-go. And as somebody who is a labor and delivery nurse, who has served families, who have held families hands down their most happiest and darkest moments in their life, that is something that I value and I treasure about this company. And it's one of the reasons that I am a coach standing here talking to you all. So, without further ado, I would like to present our Vice President of Global Sales, Mr. Jeff Hill.
Oh, I'm going to have her speak at my funeral. That's going to be so awesome. I hope it's not soon. How about that workout? Really tested me. I would have killed Michael. This is outstanding to be here. And for better and worse, I'm kind of the cleanup guy, right? Like I go, okay, well, so Tara shared this. I wanted to share a little of that. So that's not going to work now, and then Tony shares this, I go, so that's not going to work now, and so let's have a great workout with Tony. Okay, we're done. Now, it is a pleasure to be here, and for me it's always an honor to be able to come out and to talk to people and hopefully share just a little bit about the passion that I have for our company and who we are, what we represent, why we're who we are, but most importantly, as we look at this, there's an opportunity to touch lives and there's an opportunity to change the world, but first we know that we have to change your world. You have to change your world. And that always starts with decisions, okay? And so I'm going to be very, very clear right now, my end in mind, my purpose for being here. If I had my magic wand that I could wave over everybody, sprinkle the magic fairy dust, okay, on all of you, it would be that when you walk out of here, regardless of where you are in your business, if you're brand new, if you've been around for a long time, if you kind of hit that point, that plateau, where you kind of need that little bit extra, that you'll go back, you'll find a moment, and that you'll look yourself in the eye, and that you will make a decision as to what you're going to do. And so that's why I am here, to push you to recommit to who you want to become, to what you want to accomplish, and hopefully align that with Beachbody as a company. Okay, so transparently so. So we'll see if this clicker works. I think it's always great to know who the guy is. I mean, she gave me a nice introduction there, and family is important to me. So I'll get emotional on this. I watched Tony. I mean, I'm kind of a boob, right? Just kind of though. Just kind of. I'm a manly man. Okay, but I'm kind of a boob of a manly man. Did I cross the line, Tony? I don't know, Okay, I'm looking to Tony for cues. The other thing I learned from Tony's presentation is don't look over here because she's got these signs that she keeps posting up. 19 and a half minutes, 19 and 15 seconds left, so I might even look at you. But this is, this is my sweetheart, okay? This is the person that has been brave enough, courageous enough, and dumb enough at times to stick with me, okay? I mean, I say that, that she's seen me through my times to help me, and honestly is my biggest fan. She's my quarter call, my 25-cent phone call sometimes. And this is taken at our favorite place in the entire world. It's a small lake up in Lake Blaine, up in Montana. We go to every year. I tell my family, when I die, take my ashes and spread me here. Because this is where memories are created. If you were to ask our kids where they want to be, it's at this at this little lake. Now, I'm a big believer in principles, and one of the principles of this business is about duplication. And you have to understand that business, and it's about creating followers and people. So, as it was shared, we have 7 children. We like to describe it, they are all boys except 6 girls. Tony leaned over to me and he said, the poor guy, he does not know how lucky that guy is. He's just flat out spoiled. That's the bottom line. I mean, he has 7 mothers is the problem, you know. But he kind of relishes that. But it doesn't stop there. Okay, it's just not your personally sponsored coaches. You got to dig a little deeper. So we thought you just don't stop there. So we thought, what more can we do? So they decided to have kids too. So when you look at me and you say, "Do you really know how to build a business?" Believe me, this is business. This is duplication. I happen to fund that business. For better or for worse. Don't know if there's a slide there or not. But here's what I have the pleasure of being part of. Of being part of the world's most recognized and respected health and fitness company in the entire world. And I truly believe that that is who we are. I think we've just begun. I think it's because of what we represent, of who we want to become. I think it's because of great people like Tony Horton, who are committed to helping people, who know how to bring the best out in people. We talk about these celebrity, we call them celebrity trainers, our super trainers. And it is a unique skill set, okay, to be able to put someone on a camera, okay, in front of millions of people and connect with them, okay, and have fun with them and pull the best out of them. That is a unique ability and skill set unbeknownst to many. And we are fortunate enough to have, people like Tony who do that. And as you saw here, after we watched this little video of people who are saying thank you, I just thought, we're done. That's what this is all about. This is who we are. Yet we're not done. We've just started who we are and touching people's lives. And as you look, we keep finding new ways. 22 Hardcore, touching the military, but people outside of the military are going to benefit from this program. We have a gym in our office, and we've got a number of people right now who are doing 22 Hardcore. And I was doing another program. I said, you've got to do this, and they are absolutely loving it. And it will kick your butt. It will kick your butt in the 22 minutes. So if you want your butt kicked, there's the invitation. You'll get more. But here's why. If you know Tony, if you know Tony, you've met Tony. But if you know Carl, one thing that Carl is, you've heard these other words in this little video, that's relentless, non-negotiable, focused, real. This is Carl Deichler to the T. It's his DNA. And that's what flows through this business. And his focus is, we want to change people's lives, but we've got to do it a certain way. We've got to do it by creating real results for people. Okay? If that's a little slide. It's by providing real value for people. You can't fake this. It's like our programs. It's real value for people. In Shakeology, there's real value in that product. It's an expensive product, right? It is. Guess why? Because there's real ingredients in it. There's real quality in it. And we're unapologetic in saying, it's this much because it costs that much because there's tremendous value in it. So all day long, you can go find the cheap alternatives. Yeah, you can go buy the shake somewhere. But I promise you, it does not contain the high quality of ingredients that we provide to you. That daily dose of dense nutrition. The value is there. The value is in our programs. And it also for real people. Okay? We want to touch real people's lives. As you saw up here on this video, those are real people. Not everybody's the mean, lean, buff, cut, chiseled type of a person. We touch all types of people at all types of ages, in all types of shape. We've got something that can touch everybody's lives, real people. And the minute that we get away from those 3 things, then we've lost our mission. But we're being successful because we're focusing passionately, intently on that. And we need people to help us stay there, stay grounded there. But we also want you to be part of that. And the secret sauce, if someone says, what's the secret? Guess what? It's sweat, okay? It is sweat, and it's effort, and it's bringing it, and it's getting some, okay? You can go forward with that. And it's this combination of the fitness, nutrition, peer support, where you come in, and rewards, and we talk about the financial opportunities, we talk about the trips and all that kind of stuff. And that's just kind of like the, I want to say the sugar word, but it's kind of like the icing, you know, the sugar. It's the piece that can become an accelerator. And we're proud that we do that. Today, you know, for just a moment, I love this quote from Jiffy Lube. It's just that, you know, we don't want to change your world, we just want to change your oil, okay? We can't do everything. But really the concept behind that, and as I started talking about decisions, the key is this, is that life turns on the small decisions that you'll make, okay? The big decisions are easy in your life. Just like Tony said earlier, okay? It's the pancakes, it's the waffle, it's the commitment on those small decisions that will be life-changing. And that's why I hope that today maybe we can just change your oil a little bit, that you can walk out of here and make the commitments that are going to be life-changing for you. I'm pressing buttons and it's working. And the piece is that no one's going to do this for you, okay? No one is going to do this for you. You know, and I had this graph, and I actually tried to get this other one built, and I had some problems, so I didn't. But at Summit a few years ago, I talked a little bit about some of life's challenges and how growth is created. And it's never a straight line, okay? It's this line that goes like this, okay? It goes up and down, and up and down. And it's what you do in those little moments like that, but it can go up. And it's your responsibility. The slide that I wanted to build in that I didn't get built in is this flat line that's like that. And it then tilts up. And it's your job, your responsibility, to tilt your life up, okay? To take responsibility, okay? To be accountable to that. It's not your upline that's going to build this business for you. They're not going to do the workouts for you. They're not going to fleece you in the moment of the nutritional decisions you make. It's your life. And you have to take ownership of that life. So, as I talk with people, it's always fun, you know, because you'll sit down, and Tara talked a little bit about this earlier, about getting specific, having the SMART goals. But it's amazing how equivocal, if you know what that word means. Equivocal means just kind of flow, you know, they always built, you always built, that's it. They were always built in, you know, a back out plan. Well, maybe. I'm thinking about it. I'm percolating. You know, I'm marinating on that. You know, yeah, I'm hoping that might work out. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, kind of a deal. You know, and I'm hoping. That's the kind of language that won't tilt your life upward. And one of my favorite thoughts is this idea of everything starts with a decision. I've already hit that. I'll move beyond that. Is that favorite quote is this: sometimes you just have to jump and build your wings on the way down, okay? That's where you learn. That's where you grow. You may not know where you're going to land exactly, but you've got to jump. Do your due diligence first. Now, I happen to know a little bit about jumping. Okay, I'm going to share a quick little story here. And I am watching my time, so, because I know you're watching my time. She says, I'm watching it too. So a few years ago, one of our themes for summer was to dream big. Okay, one of the bucket lists items for me was to take Topher, that's my boy Topher, and go to Africa. Okay, and as we looked at that, and the reason why was because Joette, my wife, will take all of our girls like on a senior type trip where they've gone to Europe and they've done all the fun stuff and super cool things. And I thought, okay, we'll show you, we're going to do something cool too. So I had this bucket list I did that I wanted to do the big three. Wanted to go to Africa and wanted to go on a safari. Okay, we'll feed the lions, pet the lions. Okay, then what we wanted to do, we wanted to go to Victoria Falls in Zambia and bungee jump off the Victoria Falls Bridge. And then we wanted to go down to South Africa. So this was big, right? Then we're going to go do a great white shark dive, okay, in South Africa. there's a whole story behind this story where the last leg of the journey, because of me not having my passport in order, we got stranded in Zambia. But that aside, okay, there's a whole story behind this. But literally, we're finished all of our. I'm going to tell it. But I'm going to tell the story of what we did here. So we're in the airport, this little tiny airport in Livingstone, Zambia. Okay, little tiny place, not a lot of flights going in and out. We're supposed to be flying into Johannesburg and go down to our destination to do the Great White Shark Dive. Okay, and I knew in the back of my mind that I could maybe have a problem with my passport because I was pushing it on the number of pages that I had. Okay, and I thought I'm going to be okay. Okay, because I'm going to be okay. I believe. You know, believing doesn't always do it. Okay, I'm just telling you what. Sometimes you didn't have to have your act together too. So I'm sitting there, get up to the gate. The young lady behind the gate said, you know, she thumbs through my passport, going through, you know, and then she just looks up back and she goes, and she had a British accent. I won't try and do that. She goes, Mr. Hill, she says, you can't go to South Africa. You're not flying. It's like, what? Anyway, the long story short of this was I didn't have enough pages or enough room left to get into South Africa. And then I literally spent the next 4.5, 5 hours in this airport trying to negotiate, trying to get other flights. And I was trying to be the perfect example and epitome of respect, but firm, of showing Topher that in a crisis, you know, we got stranded in Zambia, right? It was good because we were like at a 5-star hotel, it turns out, but it wasn't stranded. But I was trying to show him, this is what you do when the going gets tough, okay? This is how you behave. This is how you treat people, you know? And I actually had a meltdown at one moment with Delta, but at the end, that's another story. But so I finally turned around and in our moment of peace after everything got settled out, I said to Topher, because I was really proud of myself. You know, I really hope for the most part. And I said, so Topher, what did you learn from this experience? And he looked at me and he goes, prior proper planning prevents poor performance. And it was just, bam, you know, just like in the ribs. And because I tell him that all the time, you know, so I came back and bit me on the butt, and I was like, so anyway, so we went to Africa, and we had this absolutely outstanding time where we're just flipping through these up to the point of the video where I'm going to have you turn on the lights. So we saw the elephants, we saw the lions, just had some incredible experiences. We petted the zebras, you know, we saw the crocodiles, and we did all this great kind of stuff. We danced and jumped with the Maasai warriors, and just, you know, it was absolutely incredible. But the intent of this, then, we'll stop it right here for a moment, was to bungee jump off the Victoria Falls Bridge. And so we got there, and, you know, it's all good on paper, right? You know, it sounds so noble, you know, bucket list type things, you know, but we're going to go bungee jumping. I've never bungee jumped before. So we get to this jump. It's the highest bridge, commercial jump in the world. Okay? We get down there, and you start to realize just, you know, how far it really is, you know? And that was like, it was just so they say this is so they get the right size of the cord for your weight, okay? I actually think it was a body recovery system. But they found, you know, I was number 1 jumping off, and then, you know, Topher was number 2. I don't know how many more slides I've got before I get to the video. So, Tony, I thought I could ride off the trip. So I thought surely Carl will go with me on this. I mean, I am taking Beachbody International, you know. And anyway, he didn't buy it, but it was still worth it. So here we are. Just a minute, stop it. So here we are. We're getting ready to jump. I decide that I'm going to go first. They've got this whole system. There's another lesson in that about systems when you're scared to death, how you move people. Seriously, there's a whole message in having a system so that you can move methodically through to the end point. And these guys are sitting there, they've got music going and everything else before they're going to throw you off this bridge so that you're focusing on the right types of things. There was one moment, and I'm smiling there. There was honestly one moment when I thought, this is really stupid. And I'm serious. I say that and you kind of laugh at it, but there was a moment there where I thought, here I am. I don't know how many thousand miles away, looking at it because he knows that how far it is. 5,000, 8,000 miles away, and I'm going to let some pure strangers tie something to my legs and throw me off a bridge. And Topher could be over here by himself, and that's it. And then these guys kind of got in my head again and said, okay, you're ready to go. And so then this is what happened. First time you guys got cool, man. Am I crazy? Smarter than I was. But here's the deal. When you think about what jumping looks like, you have to jump and then you have to act on those decisions. I'm out of time. I want you to forward to my very last slide of my one daughter, if you can, whoever's back there advancing these. It starts with making a decision in your life and what you're going to do. And then it is acting on it. So I've got a few pieces. So this is my labor and delivery daughter. She's a labor and delivery nurse. Okay, just had a little baby. I may go over the 5 by a minute or two. Okay, we've been blessed with some great girls, a great family, and I seriously attribute it all to their mother. They just get DNA from their mom. Okay? Aaron is number 2 in our family. And I sometimes wonder, and this is always an emotional story for me as many times as I've told it. You sometimes wonder why you were lucky enough to have her come into our family. She's just this great kid, this grounded kid. She was honestly kind of the leader of the family. She had the ability to pull the family together emotionally. You know, she just knew what to say at the right times to kind of gather the kids. And so there came a time, and the other thing is what you need to know about Aaron. Aaron, everything is harder for Aaron. Okay? She has always struggled with her weight. Always struggled with her weight. In school, it was always harder for her. She was the type of the kid that had to spend the extra hour, or the 2 extra hours, you know, at night. I'd come up the stairs at night, and the light would be on at 11:30 midnight, and here'd be this kid, and she'd be working on her math because she didn't get it, and she had to put more time into it. It just seemed like everything was a little bit harder for Aaron, but yet she was possessed with this something, this intangible that was just so powerful about her. So I was working at at Covey Leadership Center. We had an opportunity, and life was phenomenal. We loved where we were, we loved where we lived, but an opportunity came, a different professional opportunity where we were being recruited, and we really went through the processes because it would require us to move. Erin was 16 at the time. She was in her junior year. Everybody that talks about moving, no, don't move your kids in their junior year. It just sucks. You know, it just kind of pulls them out of their element. And we knew that it would impact Erin more than anybody else if we made this move. But we also knew that we had to have Erin on board with us to make this move successful, because this was a family deal. So we went through the process of being recruited, and we flew up to where we were going. We took the family up there and tried to get buy-in. But then it came that decision time where we had to pull the trigger. And we had an offer on the table. We had to give an answer back. And we thought about it. We given, is this the right thing for our family? And as we looked at that, we thought, this is the right thing to do for our family professionally, and it just felt right. but Erin had to be on board. I went to pick her up from a friend's place. Got her in the car, we're driving back down University Avenue. I can remember every turn of the wheel, almost, because I had to have the daddy-daughter discussion, not that discussion. the other discussion. And I looked over at her and I just said, Erin, I said, we've looked at a lot of this opportunity, and we really believe that it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for our family. Then it just went quiet. And you could just hear the tears start to come down her face. And she looks at me and she goes, Dad, maybe it's the right thing, but it's the wrong time in my life. And I thought, she's kind of right. And I just said, Erin, we just feel really strongly we need you with us on this thing. We really need you. And went home in tears, we got into the garage, and she runs out and into the house, and the door slams, and she runs upstairs crying, and I come in, Joette sees me. What have you done this time, Jeff? Apparently I had a long history, making people happy. And I just said, we're just having a conversation with Erin about making this decision. And it didn't go so well. But then I learned this lesson from this little 16-year-old girl the next morning. This is kind of the Erin factor. She came up to me and I was like, getting ready for work. She just said, Dad, last night we had the discussion about it being the right thing. And she says, I've thought a lot about it. And she says, I know that it is the right thing. And she said, I'll choose to make it the right time in my life. And this little 16-year-old girl did exactly that. So, what does that have to do with every person in this room? Here's what I hope that you've sensed. Okay? As you come to these meetings, as you've worked with your upline, your organization, as you've got a sense for who we are as a company, as you listen to Tony, and you listen to Tara, and you watch this great market council, and rub shoulders, I hope that you've got a sense of what we stand for, the values, the principles, how we're going about our business, and how we're going to grow this business, and how we want to put our fingerprints on the world. And maybe, just maybe, you've looked at this and you've said to yourself that this aligns with my values, this aligns with who I am, this aligns with what I want to accomplish in my life. So you may recognize that it's the right thing, but you have to make a decision. You have to choose to make it the right time in your life, because there is never a right time until you make it that. Because headwinds are going to blow, there's going to be relationships, there's going to be disease, there's going to be, stuff is going to happen. It's inconvenient to make it the right time in your life. But all I can tell you is I've watched too many people, okay, that have weathered the inconvenience, okay, that have had life thrown at them. The people that I would look at and I would go, I would never bet on that person being successful. And yet, they've made a decision and they've chose to make it the right time. And they've done phenomenal things in growing this business and in changing their lives, their families' lives, and the lives of people all around them. So my challenge, my invitation to you, we're going to have a phenomenal workout with Tony. He's going to kick your butt. He's going to make you hold your butt tomorrow. But because you're going to be sore. But I hope that the most powerful moment that you take out of here, maybe isn't in this moment, it is the one that you create when you get home to say, what am I willing to do to change my life? Am I willing to tilt my life up? All I can promise you is that we will be behind you, and we will have a company and sustain and maintain a company that you can be proud of, and that will continue to produce great products, hopefully always stand for the right things, and do it the right way so that your effort will be worth it. So, in other words, let's close this thing and let's get some. Thank you so much.